Growing up with my two stepmothers wasn't really, it wasn't funny. Let's just say that as it is. There were life lessons.
Welcome again to Unplug with Auntie EJ. So today we have a very special guest in our midst. Very, very special. But his journey is going to remind us that purpose, resilience, and intentional living are built over time and experience. So our guest today is that, I hope I don't murder the name, I forgot to ask. Daches Dachung Daches. Is it correct?
Very correct.
Hey, please, at this point, I need awards. I pronounced the name correctly. So Dachung Daches is a husband of over 15 years, father of 3 amazing children, by the way, I need to add that, and a professional passionate about turning ideas into meaningful impact. I'm looking forward to hearing from him. So he has worked on numerous projects that has helped organizations grow. He's going to help Unplug grow, improve and achieve their goals while staying committed to family, personal growth, and making a difference in the lives of others. So in this episode, Daches is going to share insights of his marriage, fatherhood, and professional journey, to show us how faith, how perseverance, and how reflection can guide us through life's challenges and triumphs. Welcome to Unplug with Auntie EJ.
Auntie EJ, thank you so very much for this opportunity. I really appreciate being on your set. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
So this is Dachung Daches.
Yes, sir.
Just like you said, I've been married for past 15 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, I clocked 15 years in April, hoping to be 16 next year.
Wow.
And even more.
Yeah, of course.
I hold family as part of what helps me move on.
Okay.
I didn't grow up with that love, family love, when you come about unity and all of that. I didn't really experience that joy.
Wow.
So I look at family as something that I have to continue to build on. I have to learn, and I learn every day. As I am here, I've on my job, I've been able to add up even more than 26 certifications.
Wow.
That's just because I'm looking forward to learning, growing, like that. So I don't know, where do we
now let me direct this conversation, because I'm already enjoying it. I don't even want to ask questions. So just give us a bit about your early journey, your background.
Sure.
You've already given us a tip of the iceberg,
Yeah.
but just share with us how did your growing up, how was it, and how did that shape you to the man you are today?
Auntie EJ, thank you so much for this opportunity again.
Yes.
I've always looked at it. It's only people that I'm so close to, I get to relate and tell them this is how I came up, and where you see me today is not where I was years back. So I'm a child of 14, 15, so to say, yeah. So my mom is Muslim.
Oh, wow.
And from Borno.
Oh, wow.
I have siblings from her side. That's my eldest ones. I'm the last of 7 from her side.
Oh, wow.
So my mom had a series of her own life experiences. I have 3 Igbo sisters, 2 Borno brothers,
Wow.
1 Gombe brother who is very famous, and then I'm the last born from my mother's side. While from my dad was a customs officer, and in quotes, always it's servicemen, uniformed men are always having kids. So yes, my dad also has. We're 9 from my father's side. So a total of, when you bring all of us, from 6 from that side,
9,
8 from there plus me.
Yeah.
So that's the family size I have. So mine is like a one Nigeria family.
Wow.
But I never knew my mom like that. So that's where my journey starts. Barely, I wasn't up to 2 years when my dad took me up from my mom, because they weren't married. I was a product of a love child, you know. So, and that I can tell you was something that I appreciate, that I'm on earth for. So from my dad's corner, he had to take me away from my mom, because if he doesn't take me away, I would convert to her religion, and then I won't have him. So he took me over to his side. My dad was already married with 2 other women in the house. So I'm a child of a polygamous home. And like you said earlier, Auntie EJ, that's the basis for me sustaining and trying everything possible to continue to hold my family, my wife, for the next many years to go. So growing up with my 2 stepmothers wasn't really, it wasn't funny. Let's just say that as it is. There were life lessons I learned. It was as I am growing, or so to say, as I got married, and I started seeing, those things that I thought were wickedness were actually things that were going to mold me for the kind of resilient person I am in life. All through those years, it wasn't really funny, you know. Going to school, you come back from school, you have homework to do, you can't meet anyone, because my 3 eldest siblings from my father's side weren't even in the house. They were children of the first wife, who has left the house and is on her own. They are all on their own. So I'm the eldest leading the rest in the house. So it wasn't really funny. You come back from home, you get to a point where you've been given assignments. I have to repeat primary 1, you know. There's no one to tell you, come and sit down, let me do this homework with you. And parents, to be honest, you see, every time that your child comes home with a homework, don't think it's a teacher just giving you work. You're building a bond, you're building a special relationship with your child.
Yes, sir.
For me, my kids, I think that's why till date, every day my children step out and say, Daddy, I love you. That thing keeps spoiling in my head. So why I'm saying this is because when I come back home from school, I have homework to do. Nobody to guide me, nobody to tell me this, how to do it. Meanwhile, my younger ones will run to their parents' place, their mother's places. My dad was never around. So you can imagine. My dad was never around. He was a customs officer, so he was never around. He was serving in a different state while we were staying in another place, you know. So there was no time for daddy relationship. My dad comes after 2 months or a month, spends 5 days. He's also an elder in the community. He's very popular in the community. So he always runs around for things in community when he comes for those 5 days. So I don't get to do anything, you know. So you have homework, nobody to teach you, nobody to do anything. You have to drag it yourself. So that was my continuous fight growing up, you know. I can't ever forget my primary 5, where Uncle Tafa, most wicked uncle that time.
Tafa.
God rest his soul. He's late now.
Sorry, I wanted to call his
It's true.
name.
He was quite a difficult maths teacher way back at first primary school. So he gave us assignments, and I came. I looked at I didn't know who to meet. And our driver, then I went to him. He said, he didn't go to school, though. You can't give him anything. So I had to just look for a way to do that assignment. Came back to school the next day. I failed the entire 12 assignments. It was 0 over 12. Guess what? Uncle Tafa is known to be a very tough person. Right there in the class, you know, fan belt was what he uses to flog us. So Uncle Tafa was already coming to me, and On the first 4 strokes, I just pulled on myself.
Oh my goodness.
In primary 5.
Oh my goodness.
You know, so it was that tough. Not until, you know, I think my story went around the school. You can understand the stigma that also comes.
Yeah.
Auntie Lillian now took a special case in me. She's also late. God bless her soul. God rest her soul. She took interest in me, called me to her class and said, "What is wrong with you?" And then I was crying and telling her, nobody is helping me. Nobody can teach me. You know, some things like that. You know, so Auntie Lillian now said, "Okay, come, I want to be teaching you. Where do you stay?" And I said, "We stay in Holshe." I said, "Holshe? I also stay in Holshe." Wow. And I said, "Oh, that's awesome." She said, "Where do you stay particularly in Holshe?" Because Holshe is big. And I said, "Kadima Police Station." She said, "But my house is just above. So I want to take you specially and be teaching you lesson, anything you want." So I went back happy, told my stepmom, "This is it." So she said, "No, teachers usually want to start sleeping with, is she married?" I said, "No, she's not, but she said she wants to help me. Said she should come to the house." She came. I now knew the thing that was coming behind. So she now said, "If you teach him, you would also teach my children." So she said, "No, it's not all of them. If I will, I'll do only one." Yeah. So my immediate younger sister was my favorite in the house. So I said I want her to follow me and be going for the lessons. So, you know, to cut that whole scene off, I picked up. My education just picked up. I can't forget one of my friends, you know, in our class group now, Kuru, Government Science School, Kuru. He said, he always calls me the guy that came with the best English. Auntie Lillian was an English teacher. Wow. So I came in, and then that's how he tagged me, you know. So there I was, you know, I was able to develop myself. My education picked up until I went to the secondary school, you know. Going to secondary school wasn't as funny either. You're going back to school. I don't know if for the current generation, but then my stepmom, one was particularly in charge of my education, you know, everything that has to do, because she was the one that took me. She wasn't, she hadn't yet started giving birth, so she took me as her own. But when she, of course, gave birth to her own, her attention for her own had to go back, and that's why everything for me now went sideways. So, you know, when I got into secondary school, I have to be honest, I'm just thanking God. I don't want to, but you know, it's what kept pushing me to where I am now, where I'm heading to. You know, when I was going to the secondary school, it was only, I would tell you my provision. My provision is only gari, sugar, kuli, and duck soap. If you know duck soap, that green bar soap, that was all.
Gen Z will not relate. Let's go ahead. They will not relate.
I kept taking, you know, that's what I kept taking. Not until I reached my JS3, going to SS1. It's then that I knew I can't continue like that, you know. So my father was a wealthy person, has houses, properties, but he didn't know what was going on. And I don't know if he ever wanted to question what was going on. There were times that when my dad comes home, I write letters, sneak into his bag, because I don't get to have that conversation. So I write my heart out, sneak it into his bag. But unfortunately, my stepmom would bring the letter to me and say, "So you want to report us, you know, you want to report." Every time I kept having that situation. So I decided I'm not going to ever write again. My dad will never like get to know what happens to me. Let me just continue my life. This life I'm living, I have to live it. All along, all my other siblings, they lost me when I was taken away from my mom. So there was no relationship
with those ones.
So, but you know, when we came back to Kano, that was 89. That was when I knew my stepmom wasn't my mom. Because she now took me to my mom and said, "This is your mom." I'm not your mother. She took that step, took me to my mom. I think my father didn't approve of it, but she had to. So that was where I built my relationship with my mom between that 1990 to 1992. You know, before the Reinhard Bonnke crisis in Kano that killed a lot of people. For those times, I watched how things happened when, you know, uncensored, people were being slaughtered. I watched it. So I wasn't able to eat, drink, or do anything for 2 weeks when my father now said we have to relocate back to Jos. So that's when we relocated, and then the whole life started again. So I never knew my siblings from my mom's side. So coming up, I told myself I wasn't going to continue like this SS1. That's where it now started for me. Business-wise. My stepmom saw that I took my own money. Then it was just 10 naira. I went to back of NASCO because I saw people selling sugarcane. I told myself, why can't I do something to get something so that I can help myself buy those things that I need in school? Not because I was seeing other people, you know, having, they have milk, they have sugar. That wasn't my goal. Mine was, I need this basic thing. How can I get this for myself? So I told myself. So I'm not like one of those that went to say, let me go and start doing Yahoo to get money, you know. So that's another encouragement, please. There's a process to every growth. Yes, sir. Everyone who is out there and you think it's just you click. Yeah, it happens now, you know. Sometimes people just go in and buy Bitcoin, you know, and then tomorrow Bitcoin's price has changed and you hit big. But there's always a process, and I followed the process. Yes, going out there to buy sugarcane, you know, I bought 10 naira, I come back, I dress it and cut it, and I get a profit of 20 naira. I sell it for 30 naira. You know, I was growing like that. When the season ended, I went to groundnut, you know, started buying groundnut. I hawked groundnut on his head.
Wow.
I was doing these things while I was between 11 to 14, 15. Yeah, so I was doing all these things, you know. My dad was, you know. So I was doing all of this down to when I think it was SS2. There were some basics I needed. I needed blankets. My uniforms were torn. And I would ask, you know. So there was a particular day I asked my stepmom, please, I want to wash my clothes. I received the insult of my life that day. Because, I mean, I didn't see where my mom's background had to come in that discussion. No, wicked like your mother, you have anger like your mother, you know. So all those things like that challenged me to say, you have to take the bigger step. Yes. These smaller businesses were not doing it, were not cutting it for me. Yes, they were solving a whole lot of things. Yeah. So I got into the next level of hustle. I went out there and I started laborer.
Oh, wow.
So Rayfield was barely coming up in Plateau State. Went out to Rayfield. One of my friends came, you know, I made a lot of friends, and my father had problems with that because they were always reporting that I had a lot of friends. The negative part of me was always being given to my father. Nothing positive was given to him. So it was like, this boy, you know, but despite that, I saw something genuine about my father. He just loved me. So that for me was enough. I didn't care if he was providing. I didn't care if there was, but I knew there was a genuine love from my dad. So I told myself, go to the next level. And that's where I started laborer work. My friend from Kadima followed him to Rayfield, now introduced me to one of the supervisors, said, I'm here to work. The man saw me, said, I'm too small. I said, I can't do it. Because I was smallish, you know, and I was very small. So I started laborer work. I can't forget my first payment. My first payment was 250 naira. You know, I started working.
This first payment thing. I will soon do one episode for first payments.
So my first payment was 250 naira. And my school box was 120 naira. Can't forget. So I collected my money. Guess what I did? My transport to that Rayfield was 15 naira.
Okay.
To go to Rayfield, to return 15 naira. So it was 30 naira. So what I did was, I would go. I know 30 naira was already there.
Out of the money, yes.
The money I borrowed to come to work, because it was that same friend that sponsored me to work. So I gave him back his 15 naira. I already had my money, you know. So I would do that. Then, unfortunately, so that's where I always want to tell the youth that doing drugs is not really helpful. So it wasn't really like I was doing drugs. I was buying ibuprofen.
Wow.
Because there was a lot of pain. You can imagine carrying that bowl. You start work by latest 8 o'clock. That's if you don't start 7. You don't close from site till 4, 5. You're carrying that load on a steady. So I was having neck pain, body pain, and I have to come back the next day continually because I needed to,
the money.
you know. So that first salary, I bought that. Then, so I bought ibuprofen 10 naira. I would always take in the morning. When I come back in the evening, I'll take again. It wasn't prescribed, but I was told that it would ease the pain.
Yeah, alleviate the pain.
And so that was like a constant for me. Then, of course, I had another 15 naira to play around with. And to be honest, I was always eating dog meat because I was told that the fat also helps your body. So everything that will keep me healthy, running after my goal was what I was after.
Thinking about
I wasn't after, you know, there are people that when we finish, you'd see us, let's go and drink now. Like, so me, I'll be like, to go and drink, share this money, won't I use it to just, you know, get healthy so that I can come to, because there was this man, when he comes to work, he would always be looking like sluggy, scattered, and I'm not that person. So I don't want to be called that person. I told myself, if I'm going to be in this place, let me be known
for the strong person.
Different. And that brings me to something, you know, in my career wise, there's my mentor. It was a very difficult mentor, David Ame. You know, he always told me, whatever you're doing, just look how you would be outstanding. Whatever you're doing, just find a way to be outstanding. And of course, in a good way.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so I didn't want to be part of those that drank. Else, right from that childhood, I would have already gotten rotten.
That's true.
You know, I would have started drinking, doing more heavier drugs. But I didn't do any of those. All was because I wanted to just survive and be the next. There was something, I don't know what, there was something that was just telling me, you have something that you're going after. You're going somewhere. Keep doing what you're doing. Yes. So I kept doing that and I kept growing, you know. Down to when I even got admission into the university. You know, I did my remedials. I just looked at myself and said, what can I do in this environment? You know, I kept, everywhere I go, you know, that's why I keep telling in my village, they call me Igbo Biron boy. That's what they call me. Because everywhere I go, I always look out for the opportunities in that community and say, what do I do? What's the problem in this place? I want to change it, you know. So when I went to university, I just looked at and said, these people are doing love plenty in this school. What can I do about this? So an idea just popped up. You know this lamination paper, you know, and then that's one that they use in binding books, transparent.
Yes.
So I was walking and I saw it. So I just picked it. Idea just came to me and I said, let me start doing handmade cards. And that's the inception of my handmade cards. So I started doing handmade cards. You know, I brought out different designs. I went to architecture department to just look at them. What are they doing? How are they doing what they are doing? You know, and then from there, I was able to tell myself, let me also be creative. Let me do something that is creative. And that's when I started handmade cards, different designs. I watched how they were doing their houses and stuff. So I was buying into that. Meanwhile, I was from a different department. I was from botany department, natural sciences.
Oh, wow.
So I kept going to those places to just see and build what I needed to do. So I did that. I was able to grow myself through school. My 200 level, I already started selling phones till date. From 200 level, I started getting best business tycoon of the class, like 200 level, 300 level, 400 level till graduation, So that's how I built myself through the starting phase, of my life.
Like this, you've shared different aspects of most of the questions I want to ask, and it's so inspiring because, my joy about what we are doing is you just see someone, you don't know what they've been through.
Yeah,
so my joy is that when young people watch these episodes, they see that there are some people who look up to you.
Yes.
That may never have heard this part of you.
Very true.
There are some people who are saying, their life's goal.
Yeah.
I just like this Dachung guy. There's a way they don't know how you got there.
True.
But when they listen to your story, they are able to relate. Okay. So you went through this. Whatever I'm going through now, I know how it will pass. Because some people are going through a lot at this point.
True.
In fact, one of the reasons why we started UNPLUG with Auntie EJ is to meet the needs of young people.
Yeah.
Because you hear that somebody failed JAMB, and the fail is not that they failed 0 over. It's just that, they didn't meet up to cut off mark.
Yes. Yes.
That resilience is not there. That's, the will to survive is not there. I know there are so many reasons that will make that happen, but we just want to let people know that one of the things you need to grow or to survive is resilience.
Yes, very, very.
The will to succeed. Look at everything you went through. You had to start your business. In fact, you started thinking by force.
Force.
And then the trauma, when you talked about that part of the the killings, like, I don't know how you have been able to come out of that. You didn't eat for 2 weeks, but that is a case that you needed to see therapists.
Yes,
never. Like, you need to, because I don't know how you were able to survive that episode.
I never saw one.
Wow.
I never saw one.
I would suggest that you do, because these things have a way of playing tricks on you even as an adult.
I agree. I agree.
I don't know, but if you are watching and you have gone through phases in your life that you feel is very traumatic, please, as you pray, please seek help.
Yes.
Talk to someone. This you are doing right now is a part of healing, because you are talking, you are speaking, so it's healing. So I'm now beginning to understand, when you said your marriage is 15 years and you want to keep going. I see the zeal in mind. This one is a goal. Yes. I see a man, I see a father who wants to be there for his children. So raising 3 children right now, what has been the greatest lesson that your family, love and partnership with your wife, what has it taught you?
It's Auntie EJ, it has taught me so much. If there's anything in my life I consistently thank God for. In fact, when I was walking in the morning, I just saw the picture of my family, and I just said, thank you, Jesus. That's me. I keep thanking God every time. Auntie EJ wasn't, my wife is, I wish you could even see my wife.
I will see. I'm coming to see you, ma.
When we started with my wife, so for me, it was more of a divine call. I got married at 26.
Oh, wow.
Both church and court marriage.
Oh, wow.
And I personally told myself, I want to have a court marriage. The reason, I want to hold myself from being a polygamous person. That was just my reason. The first day I heard bigotry, so I think there's a word they use.
Yeah.
When we went for it, he said if you do anything, then you fines and all of that.
Yeah.
So for me, while the person that was doing the word, I said, you don't even know that's what from day one has made me come to you to do this. So I got married at 26. My wife was barely clocking 21.
Wow.
So we're a very young couple. My first daughter is 15 at the moment, SS3. So that was way back then. You know, when I got married, to tell myself that I owe my wife daily, she followed me back to the village. Auntie EJ, this was a promising young lady that was in her early 20s. She's very gorgeous. She's very beautiful. And here we are, 2 governors' sons were after her. I know of a white guy that was after her.
Wow.
You know, yes, she had a very mom, and she was someone that respects her mom. So the day they entered into our compound, I knew it was God telling me, not myself. You know, when she walked, immediately she came in with her mom. I just heard a voice in my ear, like, this is your wife. Wow. That was it. And I just broke off a relationship that was, you know, I was trying to take that relationship serious. I was as young as that, but I just, you know,
you had a focus.
Yes, as young as I was always telling myself I needed to have a family, like, so I was always in that line. My mentality for having family has always been way back. It wasn't something that I had to build immediately when I got married, you know. So getting her to come over and be my wife was not difficult. That's why I keep saying I thank God that even as I heard the voice also helped make it happen. And even after our wedding day, you know, I've always had a spiritual father. Pastor Pam Dagom has always been my spiritual backing, like my backing completely, you know. Every time I have, I don't know, he just saw that, I don't know what he saw in me, but he just felt I will mentor you, I will disciple you. I still have that discipleship manual.
Oh, manual, okay.
Yes, it's with me. I know I bring it out to my... It wasn't in, you know, he champions Calvary International. Okay. But he has never made it about church, you know. He's always made it about your soul. Let's get closer to God. You know, so he built, and I wasn't the only one. He grouped us, I think we were like 6 or 7. Wow. He brought us, he kept mentoring us. So even after my wedding day, to be honest, when you are doing wedding, you would have a list, you have to buy, renting. And Pastor Pam cut down costs, and his word was always, there's marriage after wedding.
That's it.
So don't go and spend everything for and then when you now wedding. Come, that is going to be your beginning of your fight with your wife. You're poor, you're not this, you know. So he cut it down, he helped me. Get into marriage, you know, a lot of, and I always say this, I think our pastors should continue to help people after the wedding day. Yes, sir. You know, you do weddings, after wedding, it's like you have graduated, you have discharged, carry go. Sure. For me personally, while he was doing the discipleship, I was seeing points. So I personally also told myself I want him to be involved in my marriage. So for I wanted him to mentor my marriage for as long as he could. Until date, he's still doing it. Wow. You know, so I was the one who said I want him to be part of it. He also, of course, behind, but he doesn't want to play that third party role. Yes, sir. He was always holding back. And guess what? For the 2 times that I wanted to go and report my wife, he would never look at me and say, your wife is wrong in this, so let me talk to both of you. He will always say this. Adam and Eve were in the garden. Instead of Adam to take responsibility and say, oh, I'm sorry, God, I shouldn't have eaten the seed. Forgive my wife, forgive me. He went to say, but it was the wife that you gave me. So he always uses that example. The 2 times I went, he would tell me, have you checked what you did? Wow. So he kept me after the second time. The second time I was boiling. I wanted him to support me, and he refused. So after that time, I told myself, I said, this man is chatting a course. Let me just follow this course.
Abi.
Every time my wife does something, Auntie EJ, this is where marriages could also work.
Okay.
When men tell themselves that I'm the man, you're supposed to listen. Auntie EJ, there are times my wife is wrong. I'm supposed to tell her, but I'll tell her I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yes.
That's rare.
You would ask me, Auntie EJ, in my 15 years of marriage, Auntie EJ, I've not quarreled with my wife more than 4 times.
Shout out to him. I don't know how they're doing it, but
I will tell you that 15 years in marriage, I've never quarreled more than 4 times. And guess what? That quarrel that day ends that day. I don't go with it to bed. I just, even if it's her fault, I'll go to tell her, babe, I'm sorry. This thing you did now, and we'll find a way. And I'm grateful for my wife. She always listens. She also takes corrections. And then we move on.
That's another thing.
So for the question you asked, I'm sorry that I had to bring a whole lot of story.
It's fine.
The question you asked, what has kept me is, we've been a prayerful family from day one. On my wedding day, Pastor Pam preached for so long that even the people that that Nokia phone that always announces the time is, they kept putting it for him. But for me, Auntie EJ, my wife was beside me. Everything was shut down. I wasn't hearing any noise. I wasn't hearing anything except that the time is.
Okay.
I was taking notes. There were 10 points. I still have that jotter. Every wedding anniversary, I snap it and post it. So if you want to have it, this is my secret.
We would like to have it here.
So those 10 points have kept on with them. There's one he says, a family that prays together stays together. A family that eats together, it's true.
Yes, sir.
It works.
Yes, sir.
And it's been working for me. So we pray together, we eat together. There's no day when they want to go out, no matter how late my children are for school, we will pray before we get out of the house.
Of course.
And has always been a driving force for me. So God first for me. God first. Then respecting my family.
Yes.
I respect my family so much that I don't know how to ship this or say it, but I ensure they are safe. I ensure they are emotionally safe. I guard them. Those things I vowed for, I just make sure. So that whatever I'm doing, anything I'm trying to, there are no marriage is perfect.
Of course.
Nothing is perfect. There are temptations outside, there are things, but I always have this question. This is the start of the end. That's how I always say it to myself. This is the start of the end.
Yes, sir.
So every time I try to, I'll just tell myself, okay, this is the start of the end. Is this where you want to, So these are the things that have helped my marriage for 15 years. I respect, I love my family, pray together. Those common things that,
may seem common.
Yes, those things that you see men say, if you do this thing, they belittle yourself, or you go make your wife or your children. I have tough conversations with my children. I tell my children, you can't meet my as small as my 5-year-old son is. Every time he breaks something, he would come to tell you, Daddy, I'm sorry. I know that this thing may cost 5 naira, 10 naira. He knows. I have those conversations with them.
Value.
Yes, sometimes when you're trying to tell the child something, and there's a way you tell the child that he understands that you're not pained because he's damaging, but because the money you want to use for something for him or her, or you want to save up for the idea, you are now repairing. I do those honest conversations with my children. So they know. Every time they get to know that this is how it is. So you said something earlier about working, seeing a psychologist about those situations.
The trauma.
Those traumas. So one of the traumas I've always had is You know, despite my father's short-term coming home, my father shouts.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, Auntie EJ, that's what I inherited or I took up from him. You know, those shouting. But I sat and I'm so grateful, you know, when you post things on status, you may not know what it does. Sometimes some people would think you're trying to be maybe pride, you're trying to show off, you're trying. I was going through people's status today and I saw Mrs. Taiwo Ogunkomi's status on parenting, you know, anger issues. I chatted her immediately to tell her that Auntie Toyin, I've always been looking out for where I would see this. Wow. Please, I want to join you. Wow. I want to join. And she said, oh, I'll share a link to you. His class starts today by 8 o'clock, you know. So I kidding, because my dad, despite he comes home, you know, he's always be organized. Let everything be okay, tidy. And unfortunately, you know, I built up in that kind of mentality. Yeah. So when I come home, sometimes you just see me, I'm stressed at work. I'm tired. There's a whole lot, you know. There are some people that have insulted you from work. It's people that you know it should not tell you things, but you have to absorb them and move on because you also want to change their mentality. Yeah. No, we'll get to that. But you come back home and then I'm yelling, I'm shouting, I'm like, then I'll call my children and say, but see, you guys know I don't want to be shouting. You see this thing you did, I don't like it. I don't like it. When you hear me, these things are not, you know, and I have those honest conversations with my children.
You know, sorry to cut you, but you know, it's so refreshing. Like, it's so refreshing to hear that there's a man out there that is so passionate about his family. Like, I don't know, you may not understand where I'm coming from. Episodes upon episodes, I've had to talk to women who were not loved, who were not appreciated, who were not valued in their marriages. And at some point I started asking, wait, is this the standard of marriage we have now? Like, can I not just hear that, oh, there was a man in my life, or there's a man in my life, and he was present, or he is present, he is this. So hearing this from you, oh my goodness, audience, we are so happy to hear that there are still people, there are still men who value family, who value time with their children. I see the way you are so passionate about having this conversation, no matter how your trauma was. You are trying to, I see someone who is, I'm trying to heal, I'm trying to get better, I'm trying to do this, and you see this thing about status. I encourage people. One thing that has built me, that has helped me is this. I was telling my team, I said, one thing that encourages me is my status. My status is one place that made me grow. You see this idea of parenting, teen management or teen mentoring, all those things. It got to a point I stopped posting. I said, nobody's listening to you, and then nobody's paying attention.
Someone is.
But I would just hear, maybe after a week of not posting, someone just slide into someone that would not communicate with me. Like, we don't have any business. How are you doing? A long time. I said, this one I've not read. They're playfully. This one I've not read parenting from. This one I've not read teenager. Is it that our teenagers are now behaving? You know, they just throw those. I'm like, hey. So you were. In fact, there was one I said, oh, so you see my status? Yes. Now I follow you daily. I say, oh Lord. Exactly. So I've made it a point of duty to see that. Okay, I post something out there to teach someone, and I'm grateful to Auntie Toyin. She's not here, but you're mentioning her. She's someone I work with too. She's someone in the mental health space too that I respect a lot. She's doing a lot for parents, and it's very important to you. I'm happy you are keen in, because you need to work on those areas of your life to be able to do better. Because sometimes we see parents who want to do better with their children, but because of trauma, they fail. They shake.
Exactly.
So it's okay if sometimes you see yourself faltering, because you see this shouting. As long as you grew in African mother's house.
Exactly.
Don't kill yourself that you are shouting, but please, no yelling. In my church, they call me no yelling. Because there was a time I was hammering on no yelling, no yelling, no yelling. So they tagged me
no yelling.
You know, but these things work.
Yes,
they work. I see how much you are trying. We're going to talk about your professional journey because you've talked about business, and I'm sure you're still doing business.
Yes,
you're still out there.
Yes,
but I see you still do some professional, other professional things. So in your professional journey, what challenges have really tested your resilience, and how did you navigate them? Because I'm sure we want to learn.
So, Auntie EJay, it's a lot. I've been working for the past 15 years now.
Okay.
I'm one of those that I would say I'm grateful to God. It's not a godfather thing. I didn't have no one. So that's another thing. Build your mindset to understand that you don't need a godfather to kickstart your life.
Yes, sir.
And EJ, when I applied to Etisalat, I just applied. So when I got invited, so one of the people that was actually influential, Accord is in the UK now.
Okay.
She's a friend. We were in the university together. She worked then at Charm City. She said the interview is coming up. Apply. Yeah, so I applied. So when I applied, the transport to even go to Lagos for the interview, I borrowed it from a friend.
Wow.
And he was doing this Igbo, what do they call that? Apprenticeship.
Okay.
He was doing apprenticeship. He borrowed me money. I was on the road for 3 days, Auntie EJ. I took off. That same day I took off. The next day in the morning, I arrived at the park. I already have my brush, my everything. Bought pure water, brushed my teeth, wore my suit in the park, everything. Went for my interview. I was watching the time because interview was supposed to be 12 o'clock. We were hitting 3 o'clock. Interview has not come. And I was going back to Jos because I didn't have money that I was going to sleep anywhere. If I was going to sleep anywhere, I was going to sleep under the bridge. I knew it. Because I didn't even know which relative I'll call. I actually called my dad to say I want to go to Lagos for an interview. He worked then in Port Harcourt. He said, this one, he doesn't have any money on ground. And I just told him, I'm going. And borrowing that money, I went. So 3 o'clock came, did my interview, did everything. This English thing, I don't know why. Same thing, one woman spotted and said, I'm very fluent in English. I like English. Would like to work with you. That was her comment, we'll schedule you for the next phase of the interview.
Wow.
There and there, I knew that I'd started, but she asked me if I was going to work in Lagos. I said, no, I don't want Lagos. I don't want Lagos lifestyle. I'm busy and everything, so I didn't want it. So I finished that, went back, got the next phase, and I came in, did everything. While at that, many of us, I always want to encourage. There are things in my life that I always want to also encourage people. When you have a laptop, it's not for you to play games, to watch TV, do this, do that.
Louder. They should increase this part. Louder.
To be honest, Auntie EJ, I went. That was when I went to get an app on learning how to type. I can close my eyes and I'll be typing for you. Wow. I got an app installed. I was learning typing. That was how I learned.
No computer school.
No, not yet. I started it myself. So I got that feel, and that's one of the things I got from the monies I have coming up and all the businesses I was doing. Got a laptop for myself installed. So I was doing all of that. So I came back to Jos. Now, testing my resilience was when I first got the job. Wow. When I started the job. And EJ, I was a graduate, but I was under the umbrella. We were part of the first people that started registering SIM cards way back 2009, 2010. I was one of those in that set. So here I was under umbrella. My wife just gave birth, our first child. So I was under the umbrella, and a woman came. And Auntie EJ, I just missed one letter from her name spelling, her cultural name, botanical name, so to say, was so ties. I couldn't,
Complicated.
so I missed out one. So this woman got up, I did something other people don't. I always ask you to come and proofread.
Okay.
That didn't happen in my time. And I was always telling people come and proofread and check their information. I don't know why I always had let them not say something is missing, and you can see it from Nin and all the others. Now you miss one thing, you know, you have to. So I always wanted people to read. So I called this woman to come and check. This woman she was going to beat me. It was me that invited you to come and check. You know, you secondary school dropouts. She was insulting, shouting, and here I was telling myself, guy, are you sure this job is actually meant for you? You know, the first time I got the job, told me my salary was 40,000 naira. I was going to relocate to
Lagos.
Abuja.
Okay, Abuja.
My wife said, a new baby, you will leave me in the village. Sure. My relatives were there, and I love my extended family. They always have that coverage. They are people that always cover you, you know. So I loved that. So it was challenging to first leave my family, a fresh new family. And EJ, my daughter was my key to opening the door, so to say. You know, the day they gave birth to her, I got the bill. It was a private hospital, Sulky Hospital in Jos. Okay. So I had deposited only 5,000 naira. Then the nurse said, you are supposed to deposit 50,000. Which one is 5,000? That after I don't know how God blinded whoever did that I paid 5,000 and they took them accepted. In. You know. Then it was later I now said I deposited 5,000. How much am I? Said the minimum for CS is supposed to be 50,000. Why are you depositing? And guess what? The business money when I married my wife. It was recharge card business. I went back to the village to start. Wow. I had my own poultry farm because I was also a consultant for UNICEF and NYSC, peer education master trainer, training adolescents and all of that. So I was doing all those things way back then. My NYSC days and all of that, we were with Society for Family Health. So I was able to build myself financially, saving up for some things. So after NYSC, I built my poultry farm, started my broiler business before I now bought a bicycle that was doing recharge cards. So you can imagine the whole of Apple, Duce, I was going around on bike to sell to the people that were selling to the retailers. I was selling to so I was known in my village for that. And the first thing that woman said, one old woman said is, your father is wealthy, a high senior ranking custom officer. What are you doing with this queen in this village? Riding a bicycle and selling recharge cards. So business-wise, that was a test for me. I was like, wait, this woman is making... I cried that day. I went back, I cried. And I called my father, I said, this is what somebody just told me. And you are highly placed. But for me, I found my feet. That was the first test. But then coming to the formal setting now was when this woman was shouting at me, insulting me. So that tested my patience, that tested my mentality, that tested everything that I believed in. Is this where I'm supposed to be, you know? But I stood my ground. There was something a trainer told us, Hajia Falmata told us, that whenever people insult you, look at the logo of the company and transfer whatever aggression you had, transfer it to the logo. Just be speaking to the logo.
Logo of the company you're working.
Wow. Don't yell back, don't talk back to the customer. Look at the logo and just be transferring it.
Energy.
Transfer that energy there. I built myself on that. I was able to grow myself through the ranks. You know, after a couple of 3 years, I got promoted to the state supervisor. You know, after that, 4 years, I became a regional analyst. I was covering 10 states, you know.
Wow.
And that's where I met my mentor, which is another person that, you know, asked me of what actually tested me. There were days that I would wake up in the morning. Once I look outside and see that it's bright, tears will roll down on my eyes.
Wow.
I was so scared of going to the office, of going to work, because my boss was tough. For me, at that stage, you know, it was like whether this person is doing the right thing. But in my background, my head, God was telling me, I'm preparing you, I'm preparing you, I'm preparing you. So I will wake up. I wrote 3 resignation letters. I once submitted one to his table. He picked it up, walked to me, tore it, and told me, you must be joking. Flinged it to me.
Imagine.
He was just grilling and drilling me. And to be honest, why I'm where I think I'm is because I was able to also walk myself through that, build on those things he taught me. You know, my current boss now, the only issue I have with my boss is like I answer too quick and then I miss out some details. But David taught me that if you are given a task and you're not able to submit it in the next 30 minutes or 1 hour, and when I say task, you are talking of a task that normally you're supposed to do in 4 hours. David needs you to give that report in an hour time. There are a lot of days that it seems it is prayer time, that when he wakes up, he'll just send me a mail, 5 o'clock. And he'll tell me he needs that report by 8 o'clock. And I normally know that I would have to take time to do that report. So already I've woken myself to a job.
Pressure.
So I started. So pressure-wise, when I was coming up, you know, it was tough. The pressure was tough. I kept pushing myself, like, you've got to prove yourself. There's somewhere you're heading to, just keep pushing. Pushed myself, I passed that stage, got promoted, you know, to the next level. I was a state manager for Plateau and Nasarawa State. You know, at a certain level, another point, you know, unjustly, I was asked to either resign or I will be terminated from employment. You know, so I looked at myself. I said, I've worked for this company for 11 years, not a single query in 11 years.
Wow.
I'm on air. I'm saying this with the boldness I can. I've not gotten a query for 11 years. I've been promoted 4 times. I've gotten 2 national awards. So where is this coming from? I told my wife, it was on my wife's lap I cried. And it was the eve of my promotion. Yes, so it was 31st August to be precise that I was asked to resign or get terminated. 1st September was the date I resumed on that role. But you know what, Auntie EJ, through those periods, you know, the strength I got from my wife, you know, the prayer times kept helping, the encouragements, you know. My elder brother saw that out of 3 cars, you have no one, take my own 1 car, you know. I was managing my life and I kept building, and then someone that I worked with in Nine Mobile called me, Alhaji Yusuf. You know, Yusuf Musa called me and said, what are you doing? What do you think about Bolt or Uber? I said, sir, this thing same thing I prayed for yesterday. And TJ, you know my white car?
Yes, I know it.
So that's a car that he called me and said, if you're interested, come to Abuja, let's talk. When I came to Abuja, he asked me, you know, what do I think? I said, I'm interested. This is what I prayed for. You know, he said he has 4 cars that he's importing from the US, and his mind kept telling him that he should give me one, you know. This is another mentor. And one thing I did with this particular person is I sent him messages once in a while. He left 2016. This thing happened 2020, 21. But I kept sending messages. We keep in touch. I send him, you know, sometimes during fasting, I'll just buy foodstuff and send to his family. Just keep in that line. And so that's why I think I believe God used him to also remember me in my point of need.
That's
you know, sometimes we want it sharp. Meanwhile, the seeds that we sow, you know, way past. So he called me, and then when I went to see the car that he wanted to give me, you know, I was standing beside the car. And for me, the car that is used for Bolt and Uber is Toyota Corolla.
Yes.
So I was watching out for that. But
Corolla.
when I now saw that vehicle, Elantra, he told me how do I see the car? I said, I can't find any Toyota. He said, which car do I know him with? I said, it's Hyundai. So which car is behind me? I looked. The first thing I asked myself was, I was looking for a small. God gave me a big one.
Wow.
The second thing is, can I pay for it? Mind, say the same God that gave you doesn't know how he. So, and that was the strength I had for that. That was a job for me, you know. When I started in January 8th, you know, I went to my former place of work to talk to my colleagues, like, I'm doing this now, you know. Wow. Sometimes we'll use pride to say, I want to shine. Because the position I was a high position. Yes. Like, so I had friends that called me, say, they can't do driver work. They do driver work. But I said, no. This family, my late mother-in-law, the day I was asked by her husband, like, mother-in-law told my father-in-law, like, this question you're asking for, don't worry, my daughter will never go hungry. Wow. So that for me was another driving point when I was told this vehicle, hire purchase, you know, I did. And God being so kind, you know, God kept showing up in different places, you know. The first job I got on that same boat, in the first 3 days, I was paid 138,000. Wow. That money covered for my 3 children's school fees. Covered for their school fees and some change on it, you know. So for me, it's always been look forward. What is your goal? Where are you heading to? Whatever the challenge is, mine is fight through it. Stand by it, walk through it, and get to the end of it. So it's always been like that, Auntie EJ.
It's so I don't even have words. Like, I'm short of words because I'm excited that you've come to this point of your life where you can say, yes, God is faithful. Yes. God has done you well. Sure. And I saw the passion in which you used to fight for. In everything, all I got was, I made a vow to my family, to my wife, and she will not suffer. Yeah. I want to ensure that the words of my mother-in-law stands. Like, yes. I know my daughter will not be hungry with this man.
Yes.
So it's so refreshing. I see how much you pay attention to these little details that may seem little when it comes to your relationship, your business, your work. I see how dedicated. I've had conversation, just top conversation with you outside this space. Now I'm beginning to understand better. Now I see why you are so supportive. He's one person, let me say it on camera. I didn't say it before, but he's one person that is so supportive of me. My business, everything I do, he's in the forefront of supporting me. And I don't take it for granted. Because I have seen it that really when you go through a phase in your life and you see someone who you think might be going through, because sometimes I'm asking, why is this man? Why is this? There was a time I asked him for a review when I newly started my chicken business. I asked him, this guy gave me not paragraph, 1 page. I said, hey, on top this, you know, but now I understand that you saw something in me and you said, no, I need to help this woman to grow. And I'm so grateful. I'm so, and that thing has helped me. When whatever I'm thinking, whenever I'm trying to, maybe some time ago I had the challenge where we lost about 20 chickens because of water diet. Long story. When I remember your voice, I'm like, no, I have to make it. So thank you for being such a support. Thank you for helping young people. This your story now will go far to help young people who are there. Say, I don't have anybody to help me. I remember when you said something struck me when you said you were sending message to that man. Some of us don't know how to use relationships. Some of us just assume because we have a phone number in our phone, we know him, we used to be around him, automatically he will remember. That's not true. No. Nobody owes you anything. No man owes you anything. No one. So if anybody is able to do something for you, be grateful and be appreciative of it. And this one of keeping in touch is very important. The man has what he's dealing with. It's not you'll be thinking. But when he now sees regular message, maybe new month message, like you said, Salah, you go to, there's this young man that is always around. Let me call him to see. So thank you for bringing out to the fore in this episode today. Thank you, because this it's been so enlightening. Your story is powerful, and Finally, I want you to share in this whole story now you've told, what is the takeaway you want our viewers, because it's mostly young people that are our target audience. What is their takeaway? What should they begin to do? How should they begin to handle disappointment, stress? For somebody to wake up and say they sack you for because as far as I'm concerned, it's sack.
Yes.
For you to tell me, see that you resign, I will sack you. But give me. Do you understand? They just wanted to make it so polite.
Yes.
I know it wasn't easy for you to go through, but I like the fact that you picked up. You didn't start doing pride. You've not even achieved anything. You see somebody showing, being too proud. What will be the takeaway of these young people from your experience, sir?
Auntie EJ, like I said in the first instance, there's a process.
Yes, sir.
Please, whatever you're going through in life, no matter where you're coming from, like I said, I'm not coming from a poor background, safe. But I told myself, I'm not going to dwell on my father's properties, his wealth, his things. I didn't care about all of that. And to be honest, Auntie EJ, till date, my father told me one-on-one that that's why his respect for me is different. I've never stayed and bothered that my father must do it. He has it, he must do it. I've never. There's a process.
Yes, sir.
Desensitize yourself from what you feel is the normal as a young person.
Yes, sir.
Desensitize yourself. My father get them now, I go get them. Desensitize yourself. Pull yourself out of that first. Now, when you get it, don't think it will happen overnight. It's a process. There's that you must fail. When you fail, the only time that you are defeated is when you lie down there and stay there.
Yes, sir.
When you stand up and clean yourself, tell yourself, okay, I failed from this one I tried. Let me try. We're talking about poultry farming. When I started my poultry farming, I started with just 15. Grew to 50, went to 70, did 100. Then the first trial of 200, I lost over 148 birds.
Whoa!
So
hey,
here I am.
I lost 20, I was shaking.
I'm growing, right? Yes, I'm growing. Then at that point, you meet this kind of deadlock. What do you tell yourself at that period? If you don't have the kind of resilience in your mind, if you don't desensitize yourself from the normal talk that, when you get to this place and you've done this and you've lost this, that means this business is not for you. Leave it. If you don't, you should be asking yourself, are you going to meet those goals that you set for your life? Because if you don't start setting goals for yourself, even while you're young, you're going to miss it. For me, I'd already started setting family goals so that when I even was about to get married, Auntie EJ, on my wedding day, I had 58 men in suits. I had 58 men in suits. That's young stars that were wearing suits. You know, they are Sobi and all of the men in suits, you know. But all of them were asking me, what are you going to go on? You are still young. We never rock this life, you know. Some of those people are highly placed in government right now. My friends. No, I was the first that broke the jinx in my team to get married and all of that. But I've already started desensitizing myself to tell myself that where it did not work for people, it will work for me. And the way it will work for me is I need to be mentored by my pastor. I need to be mentored by this. I need to watch things that will build families, you know. I need to keep working on myself. And the truth is, continue to work on yourself. Yes, learning never ends. I told you earlier that I have over 26 certifications. Oh, yeah, I'm still working, but I'm still
he did not count the certification. No.
Yes.
That one is different.
At all.
Certificate is different from certificate.
You know, so I keep building myself. Please, learning never stops. You keep learning. You keep building yourself. You keep teaching yourself. You know, these are things that I've been able to continue to use on myself. Even my family, till date, I'm still working on it. Like I said, I'm never perfect. Nobody is perfect.
Yes.
But we have to keep working on ourselves, to grow our families, to grow. So if you are a young one right now and you want to have a better life than mine, because I want people to have better than me.
Of course.
All the people I mentor now, all the people I have on groups that I mentor, I can't mentor them if I'm not learning every day.
That's true.
I can't mentor them if I'm not hearing the right things, the right information, the right music, the right things. In our days, we heard good music, like now, it's all woman, naked,
naked
money,
bodies and all.
But then, all were things that were shaping me. So those music, there are things that if you sing to your wife or you write them out and pass it to her on a paper, a ginger. So these are things that had to build me and are building me and are shaping me. So if you're a young one looking up to having a far better life than I do, just look at these points that I raised out, build on them, and above all, if you don't know God, they won't work for you. See, I'm not perfect.
Yes, sir.
I am not.
Yes, sir.
But you know what, Auntie EJ? I've always told myself I'm not perfect, but by God's help, I'm working towards perfection.
Yes, sir.
But I will continue to strive. Yeah, there's grace, but grace did not give me the room to go and be misbehaving. So I must be cautioning myself while I'm doing whatever I'm doing. I'm not perfect. I'm building. So if you're a young one, you keep building, you keep growing. You have to continue. It's a continuous process.
Yes.
It never stops.
Yeah.
And every time I post my certificate on my WhatsApp status, there are things I look out for to encourage somebody that is thinking, I don't want to learn again. To go and learn. It's a 30-minute course. It's a 1 hour, 30-minute course.
Yes.
But go and learn it.
Yes.
It will help you.
Yes, sir.
Something, some way, somewhere.
Yes, sir.
When someone called me and said, there's something I'm going to employ someone for, this thing you posted one time, I saw a certificate on your, did you? I said, yes, I do. He said, so I would take you as a consultant on that. I want you to train the next set of 300 staff I'm going to bring on board. Is it going to come as free? He's going to put something in the pocket.
Yes, sir.
But then,
if you didn't put it, they know.
I'm learning. I'm growing. So please, as young ones, keep learning, keep growing, and just really, really relate to God always. And if you relate to God, of course, you know that God says you should always honor your parents. So anyhow, that's your 100K, your 1 million naira. 350 naira, 500, 20,000, 100,000. Just send to your parents. Don't even tell them. After a day, or if they see a lot and call you, like my dad, some days ago when he called me and said, I saw something. I said, it's just that they take care of maybe the fueling of the car. So those small prayers are also back.
They go a long way.
They back also. So Auntie EJ, that's just it for me.
Oh, in fact, at this point, I don't even think I have anything to say. I'm not adding again. Don't do. You see everything he has said. Don't do it. You see God is telling you to follow. Don't follow God. They play. With this, we have come to the end of this. But in fact, it gives me so much joy to have brought you to be with us this afternoon.
Thank you, Auntie.
So Dachung Daches. Hey, I pronounce it well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to believe that we have learned a lot. He said, I'm not perfect, I am building. If there's nothing I've taken away from this conversation today, I've taken that, I've held that to heart. I believe that so many of us who are watching have seen this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming to share this space with us. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Remember, this is Unplug with Auntie EJ. Real life, real talk, real people. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.